Hi kids, welcome you all to Leeds International School. Today we are going to learn a lesson which is chapter 13, probability. The lesson is probability. Alright, there we can learn what is a chance is. We are going to learn about what do we call by this chance. Okay, there are questions such as, will it rain on my way home from school this afternoon? Or as you will ask sometimes, will Manchester United win their next home game? There are some people there asking, will the next bus to arrive at this stop take me to school? And also we do ask, if I toss this coin, will it land heads up? So these are such questions we do ask, and for these questions have answers that can range from no through maybe to yes. So the answer is no when the event described is impossible. We use no when the event described is impossible. And we answer is no, yes when the event is certain. Okay, it's certain. We say yes. And we use maybe that when there is a chance involved. May happen. That can be a chance. If we know something about the event described, we may describe the chance that it will happen using words such as improbable, events, fairly likely. For example, we know that a coin can land either head up or tail up unless the coin is faulty. Each possibility is equally likely. So we answer to the fourth question, if I toss this coin, will it land heads up? We can answer it is as likely as not. And to answer the third question, will the next bus to arrive at this stop take me to school? For these kind of questions, we need local knowledge, such as the number of the bus routes that passes the school and how often the buses run and so on. So these are the knowledge we need to answer these kind of questions. Alright. Now we are going to learn about outcomes of experiments. Before we can start to quantify chance, we need to know all the possibilities. If you throw an ordinary dice, there are 6 possible scores that you can get. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So the act of throwing the dice is called an experiment. It's an experiment. The act is an experiment. The score you will get is an outcome, or else you can call it an event. The score you get is an outcome, or you can call it an event. And the list 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is the set of all possible outcomes. It is the set of all possible outcomes. Now I'm going to do an exercise from page number 227 for your 13A. They are asking a question to list out all possible outcomes for these questions. So I select few from these questions. The first one is tossing a 10 pence coin. We have a coin which is a 10 pence coin and we're going to toss it. Now what are the possible outcomes for this coin? It can be a head, it can be a tail. Only there are 2 possibilities. It can be a head or it can be a tail. So there are 2 possible outcomes. If you are listing it out, we can list it out head and tail. And the question number 3, choosing one number from the first 10 positive integers. An integer is a whole number. So how many whole numbers are there? 10. So selecting one of these 10s, how many positive outcomes are there? Possible outcomes are there are 10 possible outcomes. We can select 1, we can select 1, we can select 2, we can select 3, so on. So from 1 to 10 there are 10 numbers. We can select 1 from these 10. So if you are listing them out, it is 1 to 10. Alright. Choosing one letter from the vowels of the alphabet. This is the 8th question on your textbook. Choosing one letter from the vowels of the alphabet. So we are going to choose one letter from the alphabet. How many vowels are there in the alphabet? There are only 5. A, E, I, O, U. So if you are listing them all as the possible outcomes, we can list them all as A, E, I, O, U. So these are the possible outcomes. Now we are going to learn what is this probability. If you throw an ordinary dice, what are the chances of getting a 4 if you throw it fairly? Or it is reasonable to assume that you are as likely to throw any one score as any other. Okay, now we're going to know the word odds. Odds is another word that is used in everyday language to describe chances. And in a mathematical language, we use the word probability. Probability. That's also describing chances. That is also describing chances. So we say that the probability of throwing a 4 is 1 over 6. Or that likewise, we can just explain. So we will now define exactly what we mean by the probability that something will happen. If A stands for a particular event, we say the probability of A happening is written PA, where PA will be equal to the number of ways in which A can occur, and that has to be divided by the number of equally likely outcomes, the total number of equally likely outcomes. Alright, for you I'm going to do the exercise 13b as well, which is on page number 228 for you to understand that well. In the following question, we have to assume that all possible outcomes are equally likely. So the first one is said, one letter is chosen at random from the letters in the word sale. What is the probability that it is A? Chosen letter is A. So now we have to answer that. What is the probability here? So out of these 4 letters for this word sale, only one letter is A. There's only one A is there. So out of these 4, only one there. So we can write PA equals to 1 out of 4. 1 out of 4. That is the probability. Now I'm going to experiment in which an event can happen more than once. Now consider a bag containing 3 white discs and 2 black discs. If one disc is taken from the bag, it can be black or white. But these are not equally likely events. There are 3 ways of choosing a white disc and 2 ways of choosing a black disc. So for choosing a white disc, we can write like this, 3 over 5. What is 3 over 5? How many discs are there altogether? 5 discs are there. So how many white discs are there? 3 white discs are there. So 3 white discs out of all the 5 discs. So choosing a black disc, we can write 2 black discs out of 5 discs. So these are the ways we do write these probabilities. Now for you, we will do this exercise 13c, which is on page number 213, and here also I will do the first one for you. I hope it will help you there. How many ways are there of choosing an even number from the first 10 positive whole numbers? Possibilities of choosing an even number from the first 10 positive whole numbers. How many positive numbers are there? From 1 to 10? 10. So how many even numbers are there? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. There are only 5 even numbers from 1 to 10. So 5 even numbers are there out of 10 numbers, out of 10 whole numbers. So if you are writing this as a possible outcome, you can write this as 5 out of 10. 5 out of 10. So why this 1 out of 2 is there? Because what do we do there? We have to keep these to the simplest form. 5 can that be divided by 5. 10 also that can be divided by 5. So we are dividing 5 by 5 is 1. 10 by 5 is 2. So 1 over 2 is the simplest form. We can keep the answer, final answer, as fraction. 1 out of 2. Now we're going to find probability from relative frequency. We have assumed that if you toss a coin, it is equally likely to land head up or tail up, so that we can say head up 1/2. That means only 2 chances are there. Coins like these are called fair or unbiased. Most coins are likely to be unbiased, but it is not necessarily true of all coins. A particular coin may be slightly bent or even deliberately biased, so that there is no unequal chances of getting a head or a tail. For only way to find out if a particular coin is unbiased is to collect some information about how it behaves when it is tossed. So we can do this by tossing it several times and recording the result. Alright, tossing a bent coin gave these results. For this coin, we have 30 heads out of 110 tosses and 80 tails out of 110 tosses. So we say that the relative frequency of heads with this coin is 30 out of 110. Same like that, you can write it the other way around as well for the tails. So this 30 out of 110 we can write and to the simplest form 3 out of 11. I hope you understood the lesson well. What is probability and how do we write these possible outcomes and everything. And now you may answer consideration part on page number 232. They're asking some questions. You can answer this question now. Thank you for watching then. I hope you understood the lesson well.